all the time we start by measuring stuff. And then we believe that in order to move towards, again, the objective is to be net zero, net zero CO2 emission. Most of the time we see threefold. The first one is energy supply decarbonization. What can you do in order to decarbonize your energy supply? To have kind of green energy, which can be a local solar panel, which can be hydro, which can be wind farm, whatever. So this is the first source of savings that you can have. The second one is working on the process electrification, moving towards, and we pretend that electricity is today a kind of a green energy that can be used if it has not been generated, by a gas factory. And the third one is around demand optimization, and this demand optimization can be done by efficiency and also circularity. The way you can save, on water, wastewater, and so on is also to recycle. And on the efficiency of the process by itself, because most of the time people were not really auditing all that, and by starting to audit that, it's a way to be able to move on that direction. If you look at number, most of the time, the transformation, on this route, in order to be a net zero by 2050, is that we need to work on about half of the stuff is on energy supply decarbonization, about 30% is on process electrification, and 25% is on demand optimization. On the water side, what is super interesting as well is when you have some more metering, you can have a very quick notification, of some water leakage. And water leakages, when you look at some old, water distribution system, it can be huge. It can be up to 20-25%, of the water which is currently wasted just by water leakage. So if you can detect it and understand, between where you need to search in order to try to find a way to optimize that, it can be also something which is super interesting. So this is something that we are bringing as in terms of a solution, so all that is currently integrated under the banner of EcoStruxure. So we are having 6 kind of domains of expertise, EcoStruxure for power, for building, for IT, for grid, for plant, and for machine. So at the end, the people which are having a lot of eagerness, I would say, willingness to move on that direction are really people that are, I would say, energy intensive, in their process, but also energy critical, meaning that if you cut the energy, in the process, you can have some steel, in your oven, which is currently solidifying or thing like that, or glass, or if you think to hospital, if you think to a refinery and things like that. And this is where being able, to move on that direction, you can really reduce the power consumption and really working on bringing more value, more safety and availability as well, because in that case it's pretty key. And if you look at it from the profit angle, most of the time this is improving the margin of your refinery, your gas liquefaction, environment and so on. And it's bringing you more efficiency, so more attractiveness on the investment market. So it's a kind of a really virtuous circle, which can really bring you to the next level of you want more. And when I look at the return on investment, most of the time, having some regulation and some way to have some process monitoring and so on, it's something that is paying off in 1 year and maximum 2 years, in terms of return on investment. So it's a very I would say small time, I would say as the size of a company, to say that when we make an investment on moving on some of this measurement stuff and digitization of the process, in less than 1 year, we can already have the return on investment. And the good news for us is that when we deliver this return on investment, the customers are coming back to us saying, I want more. So I saved this year 25% on my bill. So can you help me to save again 25% on my bill, next year? So it's a complex story, but at the end it's becoming more and more difficult. I would say the first 25-30% are pretty easy to get. When I'm saying easy, it's because we are ready in terms of technology, and after that it's becoming more and more difficult. But nevertheless, in terms of return on investment, we are always on a 1 year, 2 years, time frame, which is pretty small.
Which is super short.
Company scale.
Yeah, very, very short.